As she said, I'm Jacqueline Miller. I am originally from New York. I never let go of my New York roots. But I am a transformed corporate, I used to call myself a corporate slave. Took a leap of faith. I am a life strategist. I work primarily with women, coaching them, moms specifically. Understand this, motherhood is not where dreams go to die.
All right, come on.
So I'm a speaker, an author, and I love empowering busy, oftentimes unfulfilled moms to reconnect with their pre-mom self so that they feel as though they matter outside of motherhood. Thank you for this platform. What I'd like to do at this time is I need every beautiful boss woman in this room to please stand up.
Put it to work.
Putting you to work. And I want you to turn, because we have a room full of geniuses here. I'd like for you to turn to your neighbor. Look your neighbor, find a neighbor, there's plenty of neighbors in here. Look at your neighbor, straight face, in the eyes, hands on your hips. And I want you to ask this question. Girl, how much money you got on you right now? And wait for the answer. Okay. I hear a lot of laughter, which tells me one of two things has occurred. She either looked at you like you were crazy, didn't respond, or she gave you an amount that was less than what she has because she thinks you're probably trying to scam her. Or she gave you an amount that was above what she has because she don't want you to know she broke. So with that said, I want you to grab her purse, go in her purse, and count and see how much money she has. Now let me tell you something. I'm a daredevil, but I'm not crazy. I'm trying to get nobody cut up in here. But I thank you. You can have a seat now. And thank you for engaging me in that exercise, because what I wanted to point out to you is the seriousness with which we approach protecting our money. You know, because as soon as I said grab her purse, I saw some eyes. Like, no, she better not go in my pocket. Now, Chris Tucker, from the movie Rush Hour, he always said, don't ever touch a black man's, what? Radio? I don't care what the ethnicity is of a woman. Don't ever, ever touch her purse. Now, what I wish when it comes to money, I wish that we would exercise the same level of caution, discipline, when it comes to protecting our money, that we do that when it comes to identify the path and the journey in which we go about making that money. Now, there's a quote that I always say I'm the poster child for. Find me a little girl with a dream, and I will find you a woman with a vision. I was that little girl. I had a ton of dreams. I think I drove my parents crazy because I had a dream of the month, dream of the week, dream of the day, dream of the hour. I was their dreamer. But I grew up to be a woman with a vision. And when I got to college, I decided I wanted to major in journalism. I wanted to be the face of the 6 o'clock news. Well, that plan went along rather well till about my senior year, which it should have happened before. I decided to exercise a little bit of investigative journalism, and I discovered that the starting salaries for journalism majors would have resulted in one of two things happening. Me living at home with my mom and dad until I was about 35, or ending up living in a studio apartment with my 5 best friends and their cats and their dogs. Neither one of those were options, not for me. So I decided to do what so many of us do. I pivoted. And I began to follow the shiny object. And that was a job on Wall Street, because that's where money was being made. So I took my vision of being a journalist and I put it on a back burner. And I jumped into finance. And let me tell you, the money was good. My starting salary was more than I think my parents combined probably made in the last 5 years prior to my starting that job. But I got into that job and I began to realize this wasn't for me. This wasn't my lane. And not that it wasn't my comfort zone, it wasn't my passion zone. I didn't jump out of bed on Monday morning and go, woo, going to work. Complete opposite. I often found myself being the only one looking like me, sounding like me, the only one that didn't play golf. I lost who Jacqueline was. And when that starts to happen and you begin to question your purpose and your decisions, the next thing that starts to go is your confidence. Because if you can't trust your own gut, who can you trust? So when you're not clear on whether or not I'm making the right decisions, am I living in my purpose, and your confidence is falling, guess what else starts to happen in the workplace? Your performance starts to fail. And when you're not clear, and your confidence is falling, and your job performance is falling, what's next to happen? Paycheck starts to be impacted. Because I look around and go, how come she got that bonus? How come she got that raise? And then I became the angry black woman. But then I had to remember what my father said to me when I was about 6 years old. He said, always remember, when you're pointing one finger at somebody else or pointing back at you, I have to take responsibility for that decision. I decided to pivot and move into something without really thinking about it. That wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. That wasn't my God assignment. But I wasn't clear on who I was and whose I was and what my purpose in life was. Now, eventually, thank God, I did get a little bit more clarity. And my mom, who transitioned about 6 years ago, thankfully got to witness her dreamer daughter, who she worried so much about, because I was always pivoting and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. She witnessed me get my clarity back. She was able to see me get my confidence back. She was able to see me get that job making 6 figures with my office on the 26th floor overlooking Manhattan, where she would come and visit me and sometimes bring some of her church friends to show off that my daughter worked. I thank God for her being able to witness that. But when I decided corporate America was no longer for me, let me back up. My job broke up with me, let's keep it real. But I had positioned myself in such a way that when I decided it was time, and I got tired of being bossed, and I decided I was going to be the boss, I made that leap. And I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And it was very easy for me to determine where I would go because I had all of this experience now. I needed a Jacqueline back then to keep me from hitting those potholes and facing those obstacles. So I started my own business where I coach other women, particularly moms, who need that direction. So when women come to me and they say, Jacqueline, can I pick your brain? You know, you're a business owner, you're a smart woman. And I would say, sure, go ahead and pick my brains. If I had somebody back then to do it, 25 years of parenting experience, 20 years of corporate America, I would have been picking their brains, and I wouldn't have made some of the crazy mistakes that I did. So when I sit down with them and they say, okay, I want to start a business, and here's my website, and here's my business plan, and here's my marketing plan, and here's my business cards, and here's my URL, and here's my design colors. No, back up. Who said this is for you? What's your business again? Let's talk about that business that you say you want to start. Why is it your purpose? Who said you were good at that? You want to be the next what? Kamika Smith? You got the skills for that? Get that confidence together. Are you ready for the daggers and the haters and all the negative feedback that's going to come? Because you ain't supposed to have amounted to nothing anyway. And especially those who want to jump into coaching. I tell women who come to me, even when they start in my basic coaching programs, let's talk about where you are now. Because you want to get into a position where you're transforming lives. Have you taken the time to look inside to see what transformations you have to make before you start touching somebody else's life? It's a package deal. Clarity. Know what your God assignment is. Confidence. Hold on to it, because trust and believe, people who don't want to do anything with their lives, they'll be coming for you just because. Grab it. Because it's a package deal. In order to have the cash flow, clarity, and confidence must exist. Because if it doesn't, you're leaving money on the table. How many of you all want to leave money on the table in your business? I don't know anybody who wants to leave money on the table. And it's not just about you. Because when you have gifts, your gifts are not yours to keep. They're to share. If you are leaving gifts on the table, that means you have left souls unserved. You have to start with what's going on here and here. I had a woman come to me one day and she said, Jacqueline, thank you. I came to you and I was fragmented. That was her word. She said, but now I'm whole. How amazing would it be for you to step into your greatness and not be held hostage to F-E-A-R, fear. Fear is not a bad thing, let me tell you. It will motivate you. Where it becomes a problem is when it captivates you and cuts you off at the knees and has you paralyzed. How amazing would it be for you not to be the victim of entrepreneurial PTSD? There is such a thing. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. PTSD, fear, captivating you. You don't want to find yourself there. What I love seeing is empowering women to get to a point where they are living the life of PhDP. Nothing to protect because they've done the work. Nothing to hide because they've already pulled back the layers. Nothing to defend because they've, again, done the inner work. And last but not least, nothing to prove. Because here I am in all my business nakedness, my authenticity. Every woman, every potential business owner can do it. But you have to surround yourself with people who are going to hold you accountable and not accept your excuses. But first, you must check yourself before getting consumed with checking your checkbook. Thank you.
Yes.